The 15th and 16th centuries were a time of great change in Europe. This period, known as the Age of Exploration, saw Europeans sailing to new lands across the globe. They were driven by curiosity, ambition, and a thirst for knowledge and riches. This era marked the beginning of globalization, connecting continents and cultures that had never interacted before. Europe was emerging from the Middle Ages. New technologies, like the printing press, were spreading knowledge. Powerful nations like Portugal and Spain sought new trade routes to the east, bypassing the traditional land routes controlled by the Ottoman Empire. This led to innovations in shipbuilding and navigation. The compass, astrolabe, and improved cartography allowed explorers to venture farther than ever before. The stage was set for an unprecedented era of discovery. Among the most famous explorers of this era was Christopher Columbus. In 1492, sailing for Spain, he set out to find a westward route to Asia. He landed in the Caribbean, mistakenly believing he had reached the Indies. Columbus's voyages opened the door to European exploration and colonization of the Americas. While his initial goal was to find a new trade route, his discoveries had far-reaching consequences. Another prominent explorer was Vasco da Gama, who in 1498 became the first European to reach India by sea. He sailed around the southern tip of Africa, opening a new trade route to the east. This voyage was a major turning point, establishing Portugal as a dominant power in the Indian Ocean spice trade. These are just two examples of the many brave explorers who ventured into the unknown. Their journeys expanded the European worldview and forever changed the course of history. The motivations behind these explorations were complex and interconnected. One primary factor was economic. European nations sought new trade routes to the east, hoping to gain access to valuable spices, silks, and other goods. They also hoped to find new sources of gold and silver, which were seen as essential for national wealth and power. Glory was another powerful motivator. Explorers who returned home with tales of new lands and peoples were celebrated as heroes. They gained fame, fortune, and the favor of their monarchs. The competition among European powers fueled this desire for prestige and recognition. Finally, religion played a significant role. Many explorers saw their voyages as a way to spread Christianity. They believed it was their duty to convert indigenous populations to their faith, often using force or coercion. The desire to expand Christendom was a powerful driving force behind many expeditions. Section 4. A Clash of Worlds. The impact of European exploration on the indigenous populations of the Americas was devastating. Europeans brought with them diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza, to which native populations had no immunity. These diseases spread rapidly, decimating entire civilizations. The arrival of Europeans also led to widespread conflict and displacement. European powers, driven by a belief in their own superiority, sought to conquer and subjugate the indigenous peoples. They seized land, exploited resources, and enslaved native populations. The cultural exchange, while not always equal, did lead to the exchange of new ideas, crops, and technology. However, the long-term consequences for the indigenous populations were largely negative, marked by violence, oppression, and the loss of their traditional ways of life. Section 5. The Columbian Exchange, a world transformed. The voyages of exploration triggered a global exchange of goods, plants, animals, and diseases known as the Columbian Exchange. This exchange had a profound impact on both the Old World and the New World. From the Americas, Europeans brought back crops such as potatoes, tomatoes, corn, and tobacco. These new foods transformed European diets and agriculture. Conversely, Europeans introduced horses, cattle, and wheat to the Americas, forever altering the landscape and lifestyles of the indigenous peoples. The Columbian Exchange also had a devastating side. As previously mentioned, European diseases ravaged native populations. This exchange highlights the interconnectedness of the world and the unintended consequences that can arise from contact between different cultures. Section 6. A Legacy of Discovery. The European explorations of the 15th and 16th centuries left an indelible mark on the world. They opened up new frontiers, connected continents, and transformed global trade. They also led to the rise of European empires and the tragic exploitation of indigenous populations. The voyages of discovery remind us of the human spirit of exploration and the desire to understand the unknown. They also force us to confront the complex legacy of colonialism and its impact on the world we live in today. The age of exploration was a pivotal period in human history, shaping the political, economic, and cultural landscape of the globe. Its legacy continues to influence us today, reminding us of the importance of understanding the past to navigate the future.